We are live. We're back again. And another monumental moment. The homie Race Studios and I, we've covered over just the last couple years some of the most monumental, craziest moments in the history of our country. What a time to be alive, Ray.
Yeah. Can you imagine what like our founders would think of with the times that are going on right now?
I think about that every day. I really do. I think about it. Our founding fathers were, man, these are people that put, and it's a good transition into Matt Gaetz. If the headline is obviously, if you haven't been under a rock, that Matt Gaetz is moving to oust Kevin McCarthy. We already knew it was going to come to this point. Our founding fathers put everything on the line.
Mm-hmm.
They could have easily just said, you know what, let's just do whatever Britain wants. We'll protect our plantations, our money, everything. They could have just said that. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to put their families online. They didn't have to start the war. Like, these people were not safe from British attacks and war. And they put everything on the line. And that's what Matt Gaetz is doing right now. Without Matt Gaetz, I don't know who would be the face of challenging the Uniparty.
Yeah. Well, the founders thought they were going to lose anyway, but they still went along and did the revolution.
They thought the whole time that they were going to lose. So imagine if you were, they were pretty well off because, a lot of them had plantations. They had a little bit of wealth. And imagine you were comfortable. You had some wealth. And you knew you didn't have to pop stuff off with Britain, and you can control most of the populace and not have them pop some stuff off with Britain. But you believed in your principles so strongly that knowing that you would lose, that means your life. They still said, this is our declaration. It's not of war, it's of independence. And they knew they were in a special moment. They were being led by God, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And we need warriors. We need people like that right now. We're in a different place. And I think they would be looking at Matt Gaetz very highly.
Yeah, like the founders, they knew they couldn't challenge the British because of their military strength. So what they did was they just waited them out. That's pretty much all that's really all they did. Because Britain was already in debt even before the revolution started. And the revolution, during the revolution, they just gained way much more debt, and they just couldn't handle it anymore. They couldn't just pay for it and a lot of people living in England at that time didn't want to put up with it. And so they just decided, this is 3,000 miles away. Let's just give up and let's just take our losses and let's just deal with it. That's really what happened.
Well, they held out, and then France bailed it out. France came in at the end and bailed them out because France had beef with England. But it was just a miraculous moment where they had no chance. They're going over the biggest, baddest army. And what you see here is Matt Gaetz basically saying, I want that same energy. And here's a clip of Matt Gaetz. And this is the energy. If you don't know the details, we are going to get into the details. But Matt Gaetz sums it up here in about a minute and 50 seconds.
The speaker did not just fail to remediate the breach of the agreement that he made with us in January. He accelerated the instances of breach. Like, after I laid out the breach, he went and violated the 72-hour rule. After I laid out the breach, he violated the 100 million no amendment suspension rule. So he seems to be reverting to the very unfortunate muscle memory of Washington, D.C., that has put our nation atop a $33 trillion debt, that has led to $2 trillion annual deficits in our near future, and the rapid global de-dollarization of the economy. When you look at the BRICS system, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're moving away from the dollar. And just in August, they added 6 new countries, including G20 economies in the Western Hemisphere and Gulf monarchies. Moreover, you saw U.S. News say that the number one economic trend of 2023 is de-dollarization globally. This worries me. You all get all worked up that there's going to be some uncomfortable, chaotic moment, that I'll feel pressure from conservatives or Democrats or whomever. I feel the judgment of history. I feel the weight of that. I worry that when the history books are written about this country going down, that my name is going to be on the board of directors here. And if this country's going down, and if we're losing the dollar, I am going down fighting. And I don't care if that means fighting Republicans, Democrats, the Uniparty, the leadership, the PACs, the lobbyists. I've had it. I've been here 7 years. We
He
don't
should have
have
said
a fucking
Matrix.
budget. We haven't had one since the mid-90s. I am through with it. I apologize for using that word, but the only path forward here is to have single subject spending bills that can be reviewed, amended, considered, and I think that is the responsible way that our legislatures all over this country operate for good reason.
And that's Matt Gaetz summing it up right there. And he basically was describing the Matrix in a way. And
He should have
he's
said it
out there.
flat out. He should have said flat out.
Yeah. But he laid it down saying that he doesn't care if he has to fight against Republicans, Democrats, the Uniparty, the leadership, the political action committees. What a disaster. What a disaster, though, these PACs have become. And the only way to really fight is to start your own PAC. So, I mean, I don't want to play any victim card. You got to start your own PAC and get money and get in the game. And then the lobbyist as well. Matt Gaetz has had it, and he is moving to vacate the chair. This is something that has happened. I believe this is the third time in the history of the country. I do have a little bit of an outline here, Ray. Now, do you have any other thoughts on, before I go to this outline, any other thoughts on what you heard from Matt Gaetz or in general?
He said he's going to go down fighting. So how far is he willing to go? So that's really what I want to know. Like, if he's truly saying he will go down fighting, then that means secession has to be in that conversation too. It has to be.
Yeah, I don't think he's going down. I would love it. I think you know where I stand, but I don't think he's going down. I haven't heard anybody. Yeah. Who have you heard? Have you heard any prominent person? I haven't even heard the Libertarians talk about it.
The only one in Congress would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, but we fell off from her though. So
yeah, you're right. It's tough because there's so much to like about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Then she threw the Groypers and Nick Fuentes under the bus completely unnecessarily. You don't have to align with them, but you don't have to throw them under the bus, especially when you know people are lying about them. And so that was the first sign. But then in January, she had this thing where she was basically on her knees for Kevin McCarthy, obviously looking to get committee chair and making her own deal, and then threw MAGA under the bus and kind of went away from her. But she is based in a lot of areas, so it is difficult to navigate that.
Yeah. But, go ahead.
No, so you can go ahead.
And I was going to add something to this. Those 9 Republicans that voted against this.
Oh, yep, your mic went out. I think it went out on your end. So Ray was going to talk about the 9 Republicans. So we'll do that. We are going to get into a little bit of the details. We are going to get into the roast of Reagan that we started. We started actually talking about it yesterday. We do have some details. We're going to go back into that. You back, Ray?
What I was saying was, those 9 Republicans that voted against the spending bill, we should be thanking them and be on our knees for it.
Yes. Well, you're talking about this one here?
That voted against that spending bill, yes. Because this is part of the reason. This is leading to why Matt Gaetz is moving to motion to vacate the chair.
Yes, because Matt thinks he has the votes to do it. Let's go over what this means here. I mean, really, we should start with what the Speaker of the House does. I cover this stuff a lot, but I always kind of like to go through the fundamental kind of definitions of this thing. The Speaker of the House is the leader. They basically are the one up there with the gavel for the most of the time, unless they don't want to, they hand it over to somebody else. But they've got a lot of responsibilities and power in the people's house, the House of Representatives that controls the purse. It's an extremely powerful position. As we saw with Nancy Pelosi, you can wield power with that position. It was almost like Nancy Pelosi was she was stronger than VP, obviously, when she was in there. And Kevin McCarthy has turned the role into, I'm not MAGA, but I like MAGA. I'm a fake MAGA supporter, but I'm really working with the Democrats. And that's what he's turned the role into.
I haven't noticed that he's trying to play to MAGA. I haven't noticed that at all.
I think he is. Let me give you an example. Before we go into the details, I never liked the talk about impeachment. I had a problem with it when they, especially right as we're coming up to the fiscal year of the United States starts on October 1st. That's why they had to get this done quickly to do that 45 days extension. And it was like mid-September, Kevin McCarthy is out there talking about impeaching Joe Biden. That ain't the topic right now. You're coming right up into the deadline of the money. Money. There's nothing more important than the money. That's what this is about. So to hear him talking about impeachment, and then I did hear a lot of MAGA people like, oh yeah, let's go impeach, and I'm not against you, but that wasn't, what was that going to accomplish? Nothing. That wasn't the time. The focus should have been on the bill. And I think little things like that is him trying to fake the J6 tapes. He said he was going to release the tape. We haven't got, where are the tapes at?
He only gave just a few select pieces to Tucker Carlson, but that's
complete phony. Complete phony, in my opinion, trying to make MAGA. I mean, MAGA's never fallen for him, but you see what he was trying to do. He's a weasel politician.
Yeah, I can agree with that part. No questions.
So let's look at this here. Just a brief outline of what are we going to expect here with the motion. So Matt Gaetz has made it official. So you have to introduce the motion. He has done that. They say this motion is privileged. And what that means is it must be voted on within 2 legislative days, about 48 hours from when the House is in session. So they're on the clock. We are in high time, and there was a tweet that came out from a tweet. This is like crazy politics going on in our country, and X is where the battle's happening for them. And people think I always get sidetracked when you see the ramifications of how important the X platform is, and for people to think you shouldn't have First Amendment rights on it. The Speaker of the House is tweeting out, "Bring it on!" in the third. This is only the third time this has happened, to vacate the chair. He's Xing about it. Obviously, it's a huge platform. And then Matt Gaetz basically said, "It is on. I set the motion to vacate, and let's do this."
So, what do you think Matt is going to be talking about on Tim Pool's show this Friday?
I didn't know he was on. He's on again this Friday. Oh, in Miami.
Yeah, with Patrick, Bet David, Luke, James O'Keefe, and Gaetz.
I forgot. Yeah, that's gonna be hype. So they're gonna vote. So we don't know what's gonna happen. So by the topic, we don't really know what he's gonna talk about on Friday because we don't know where the vote's gonna go. Right now, even Matt Gaetz himself believes that it's highly likely that he's got to deal with the Democrats. He wouldn't have passed the 45-day continuing resolution if he didn't have a deal with the Democrats, most likely. Or like pretty locked in the bag, where he only had to whip up a couple votes or something like that.
So for some reason, what I believe is happening is that there really is just an establishment. There really isn't a party thing. It's just nothing but establishment. Most of the establishment just happens to be Democrats. And I think pretty much what they're doing is they're just playing the long game. Like for some reason, doesn't it almost seem like all these establishment Republicans, they're actually really just Democrats. They're just under there to just like make it seem like, oh, we have a different opinion over here, but in reality they kind of have the same opinion. Doesn't it almost seem like that at times?
I think that's it for sure, and that's why you heard Matt Gaetz say uniparty. The uniparty is fully exposed at this point. Because right now they're trying to hold up the money to Ukraine. They don't want to fund Ukraine. Who's out here talking about, let's get more money? We've got to get more money to Ukraine. Who's out here talking about that? It's the Uniparty. It's the Lindsey Grahams. It's the Dems as well.
Yeah.
And
that's why. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you can go.
Oh yeah, that's why these 9 Republicans, we should bring them up that voted against the spending bill. The ones I forgot who they were all off the top of my head. I just know it was Rand Paul, J.D. Vance, Marisha Blackburn, and Ted Cruz, and a couple others. Yeah,
definitely.
If you can bring them up, I don't recall who the others were, but yeah,
I'd have to look it up. I don't have that just at hand, But yes, I do like to see that, especially coming out of the Senate. But here's what it sounds like: the Uniparty exposing themselves. This is something Democrats agree with, and even Ted Cruz agrees with this too. But so you're exposing who's the corporate one, who's not. Here's Lindsey Graham on Ukraine.
Have you asked Donald Trump, your friend, to come out and publicly support more aid to Ukraine and to push some of these skeptical members of the Republican conference?
I'll leave it up to him to what to do, but he wanted to get out of Afghanistan.
Well, Vladimir Putin has been praising him for his comments about Russia and Ukraine.
Here's what I'll say about President Trump. He did not pull the plug on Afghanistan, even though he wanted to. The biggest mistake we've made since the war on terror is withdrawing from Afghanistan. To President Trump and anybody else, if we pull the plug on Ukraine, that's 10 times worse than Afghanistan. There goes Taiwan. To stop funding Ukraine is a death sentence for Taiwan. Putin will keep going. You missed all of World War II if you don't know how this movie ends. To the Republicans who say Ukraine doesn't matter to us, you're wrong. Respectfully, you're wrong. The war gets bigger, not smaller. There goes Taiwan. If Ukraine can beat Russia, China's less likely to invade Taiwan, and Putin gets stopped.
Have you asked?
Okay, I just want to say one thing.
Go as long as you want.
If Russia is this big dominant force, why are they losing to Ukraine? For real. That's just what I want to know. That I really want to know that. If they're this big dominant force that's just going to rebuild the Soviet Union and take over all of Europe, why are they losing to the poorest country in Europe?
Makes no sense. Even with all the money the U.S. is providing, makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, because the Democrats have been saying that the Russians are the biggest enemy to America, but why are they losing to the poorest country in the world and in Europe? That makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
none of it makes sense. They're trying to leverage. So you see how I've evolved. I've dropped out of the China. I said that if China took Taiwan, we would have no choice but to get into a conflict, hypothetically. I've completely dropped out of that. You see why? Lindsey Graham is trying to get you, oh, you think that if China invades Taiwan, we have to get involved?
No.
Oh, so I'm going to leverage that idea into this is why I have to support Ukraine. And what I'm seeing now is all of it is a facade.
What I used to say was I don't support Ukraine, but I would actually support Taiwan because, at least we have a reason there in Taiwan with all the microchips that they make here for America. But I got to the point where, I'm sorry, I can't deal with that anymore. No, I'm not sending a single soldier to die on foreign soil. Nope.
Oh, I'm completely out. And then look at the Uniparty.
That's why.
Go ahead.
That's why you have ambassadors that you could send over there to do some negotiations to so that things could work out in a certain way. So yeah.
Yep. Take a look at this account here. This is Bill Crystal saying this ad, and this ad did air. This is an ad. So you see Lindsey Graham talking about Ukraine.
Billy
you know
Crystal,
all the
actor?
No, I'm sorry. Bill Crystal, the what was he as a former? I don't know what he really did other than write.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about when you said Bill Crystal. Crystal, I thought you were talking about the actor.
I don't blame you. Yeah, no. So he is down with the Republicans for Ukraine type of vibe. Here's a 30-second ad. This is an ad that Lindsey Graham. This is basically the ad version of what Lindsey Graham just said. This is all why this is happening with Matt Gaetz and all this. This is really the backdrop to all of it. And it's a pro-war ad.
When America arms Ukraine, we get a lot for a little. Putin is an enemy of America. We've used 5% of our defense budget to arm Ukraine, and with it, they've destroyed 50% of Putin's army. We've done all this by sending weapons from storage, not our troops. The more Ukraine weakens Russia, the more it also weakens Russia's closest ally, China. America needs to stand strong against our enemies. That's why Republicans in Congress must continue to support Ukraine.
Can you rewind it back a little right there?
Ukraine,
yeah, we can rewind it. Which part?
Go, continue right here.
Okay, let me keep going.
I thought I missed something.
Putin is an enemy of America. We've used 5% of our defense budget to arm Ukraine, and with it, they've destroyed 50% of Putin's army. We've done all this by sending weapons from storage.
Yep, that part right there.
Well, what they just said about Putin. They said Putin is like an enemy of America Putin should be a natural ally with the West because Russia has a whole bunch of natural resources that we could use and trade. So, but they want to take them out because the reason is because they want to expand their NATO power.
Yeah, are we still trading with them right now? I mean, we might still be trading.
We do. I think we are actually.
So I have to look that up. But I know after the war had started, we were still trading with them, at least for a little bit. And then the other part that gets me is, listen to how savage these people are. It's all the, we stand with Ukraine, we stand with Ukraine. Listen to what they really say.
This by sending weapons from storage, not our troops.
So do you see that? They said, how did we do this? How did we decimate the Russian army? Forget about if that's right or not. How did we do this? We did this by
Weapons from storage, not our troops.
By not sending our troops.
Well,
what does that mean?
Allegedly, there's a potential that there might be some troops over there, but it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Yeah,
it's
and
just allegedly.
Yeah, and even if it is, it's not a lot. I mean, it matters, but not to my point here. My point is they are telling us that we don't have to send our troops over there. So what's happening? Let me play. This is Mitt Romney.
Each year to help the Ukrainians is about the best national defense spending I think we've ever done. We're losing no lives in Ukraine, and the Ukrainians are fighting heroically against.
Did you peep what they're saying? They're saying
it's the greatest use of money we've ever used.
It's the greatest use of money because we're losing no lives. What does that mean?
And the Ukrainians are.
What does it mean that we're losing no lives?
National defense spending I think we've ever done. We're losing no lives in Ukraine.
These people are psychopaths or sociopaths.
They're sociopaths because they think we're stupid.
Yeah, so they're saying so the Americans are losing no lives in Ukraine. So the hundreds of thousands of people dying are the Ukrainians, and they couldn't give less than a shit about that. That's them right there in the ad. They're like, this is the best money we ever spent because they're dying, not us.
You know what?
Some of the most savage people on the face of the planet.
You know how much? You know, with all the money we gave to Ukraine, do you know how many homeless people we could have helped with all that money? We could.
I know.
Like every homeless veteran would have been able to been put in a home. They would have been able to. So
I love that comment because that comment is a populist left and right would agree with. Well, maybe not the money could be used better here to figure out that problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the backdrop of all of this. I think that's in the country's going through all this, the Great Reset, all that is also in the backdrop. But the Ukraine funding, if you stop the funding to Ukraine, it is over. War is so expensive. I mean, they're blowing through billions constantly they're just using these drones and flying over and taking tanks out one by one by one. It's very expensive.
Personally, I don't even care if Putin wins. I don't care. It makes no difference to me.
I agree completely. I want the best for the United States, but I'm not invested in that way. I just want peace. And Trump said it the best. He was like, I just don't want people. I just want people to not die. I have the clip actually right here. I might as well just play it.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
what do you? Can I just follow up on that? You said you don't think in terms of winning and losing. Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement that you just made there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
So the Mitt Romney, Bill Kristol, and Lindsey Graham take is, that's the best money we've ever spent. They're dying. Donald Trump's take is, I just want people to stop dying. Which one do you choose?
Everybody to stop dying.
Well,
They're dying.
Stephen wants Russia to win, so yeah.
I think that's tongue in cheek a little bit, but no, some of it might be true. Some people are truly pro Putin, and the reason for that is I read one of his speeches a while back. I mean, his speeches are really good. I mean, it might be rhetoric, it might not be. His speeches, I got to do it again. The only reason I haven't is because I can't pronounce some of the words, and it's really brutal. But oh man, his speeches are good. and that's why people are. I'm not pro Putin. I don't give a damn about Putin, but yeah, I will agree that he's very pro. He's traditionalist.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally. To me, like I said, it doesn't matter whether Ukraine or Russia wins.
Yep,
But
I agree.
I would say this: I respect Putin more than I respect Zelensky.
Oh my God, that's not even. Yeah, for sure, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Here we
no
go.
question.
Yep. So if you don't know this, they did this procedural thing here. So now it's going to be all a battle of trying to whip up votes. There will be a roll call vote potentially. McCarthy could try to get in front of it to get some delays, so the vote won't happen tomorrow. Potentially, it might happen Thursday, the day before, or who knows if it happens the day. I don't know when that clock starts. It could happen Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm thinking it's going to happen Thursday. But here's some scenarios. If Matt Gaetz' motion passes with a majority, then Kevin McCarthy is out. He has to vacate. Well, he's not out of Congress, but he's not the speaker anymore. There would be a new election for speaker. So I had it wrong. We are not going back to immediately there is no speaker and you're just voting. It's, well, you have to vote first. If that passes, then we go back to where we were in January, where it was just voting 15 times. But keep in mind, Kevin McCarthy, even if he was voted to vacate, could still put his hat back in the race for speaker after they're voting again.
Yeah, makes sense. Like, I still remember what happened in January. It was just nothing but a clown show right there. So,
and that's where we'd be back to that.
How many votes were there again? I forgot how many times they did it.
It was about 15. I believe it was about 14 or 15. I lost track, man. I covered almost all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the number two scenario is the motion might fail, and this is the most likely, just guessing right now, scenario, because Kevin McCarthy made a deal with Democrats before. He probably could make another one, even though AOC, I believe, said that she would vote to vacate him. But the speaker would remain in office. There wouldn't be any other votes. But here's the thing about if the motion fails. There's nothing stopping Matt Gaetz or anybody else from starting it right back up the next day.
Uh-huh.
So it's not the exact scenario that I thought it might be, like he's not automatically vacated and you have to vote. But there's no rule that says, hey, Matt Gaetz can only try this 2 times.
Yeah.
He could literally do it, or anybody in the House, any Democrat, Republican, anybody could just come to the floor and say a motion to vacate after the vote.
He could do it every day till January, was it 4th or 5th of 2025?
Yep. He could do it every single day until the next session of Congress.
You know what? He should do that just to troll them. That would be the ultimate troll.
Nobody in the media has asked that. That I've heard. They should have asked him that. And because I think, well, if they asked him about the vote, if they wanted to vote, who would he pick for speaker? I think he said Steve Scalise, even though he's, I think he has cancer or something like that. Hopefully he gets better. But you're right. No one's asked him, well, what if it fails? Are you going to bring it up again? Yeah, he absolutely. The only thing stopping him is political pressure from, donors, the same people he's talking about, Uniparty, PAC, even friends. They might be like, cut it out. Because if you do this, you can't do anything. You can't pass any legislation. The 45 days to negotiate the next continuing resolution shrinks because you can't do anything on that.
Well, I would do it because it would just stop the resolution from being passed. I would do it every day just to do that.
Yeah, it's a tough one though. I agree with you. The only question that would be is optics, because people might look at it and say you're being goofy. Like, you got to think like your normal person that just doesn't know anything that's going on. They don't know anything about anything. They come home from work, they turn on NBC or MSNBC or even Fox, and they hear, oh, Matt Gaetz is trying to oust Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
And then they hear it fails. Then they hear it again. Matt Gaetz is trying to oust Kevin McCarthy. They don't know anything that's going on. They're going to think Matt Gaetz is crazy. Do you see what I mean? That's the battle that's happening.
Well, what if I said I don't believe? What if I said this? If you don't pay like a whole lot of attention to like the politics stuff, you should not be allowed to vote.
I'm not. I understand the sentiment from people, and that's the founding fathers. As you know, they said you had to be a landowner, male. I believe the white was in there, a white male landowner.
I'm not sure about the white part. I'm not.
Oh, well, maybe white wasn't in there.
It might have implied it, but it didn't. I don't think it said it specifically.
Yeah, I stand corrected on that. But they had. My point is they had restrictions on it, but I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
But I understand where you're coming from. I'm not. I mean, it's not a crazy position to have. A lot of people are saying that now, but I don't. Here's the thing. You'd be taking out a lot of Trump. Of Trump is non-college educated.
Well, a lot of the ways they win are because of the ballot harvesting.
Oh yeah, well that has to be wiped out and eliminated.
So okay, how about this then? If you could take away the ballot harvesting, would you be okay with it then?
No. I think everybody should be able to vote. I don't. I'm a populist. Here's I'm a very, very strong. And I wish we might look at a different. Maybe we'll talk offline and try to find a different test. Nothing against that. I like the political compass test, but maybe a different style of test. Because I want to see where I am with I'm probably off the charts with populism, which is different than what we just took. But my view is distributing power to as many people as possible. That means even idiots get guns. Even idiots, you might call who is an idiot, but anyone gets free speech. Anyone gets to vote.
Well, speech and guns are not a privilege. They're a right. Voting is not a right, though. That's a privilege.
No, that's true. I'm not. Yeah, voting is not a right. So your take is based in based in legitimacy, but still, I'm a populist, right or no right. I'm trying to think what walk of life where I wouldn't want power distributed to everyone.
So let me ask you this then: should retards be able to vote?
Yes.
So you don't think people should be able to have to pass a civics test then? You don't believe in that?
No, to be a citizen, I do. That it doesn't do that much, but to be a citizen, yes, I think you should pass a basic civics test.
Bring up Taco's
in English.
Yeah, bring up Taco's comment that he just said.
Okay.
Civics test. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go.
Civics test before being allowed to vote. This should also apply for people running for office. 100% agree right there, man. 100% agree.
Yeah, and I don't blame you both. And what's up, Taco? I don't blame you both, but here's my concern for that is I think there should be a civics test, maybe requirement for graduating high school or something like that. Or even, basic civics, you can do that in middle school. Just really basic civics. So I'm with and to be a citizen. I'm with it all the way. The problem is when you gatekeep these things for a vote, the people that you're going to probably filter out are the people you want to have on your side.
I disagree with that question right there. Because I think most people that don't pay attention are more establishment than populace.
I think the people who are not paying attention they would side more with where we are if they were paying attention.
You should put that as a poll then. Like do people who don't pay attention to politics are they more establishment or are they more populace?
It's a great idea. I don't do much polls because it's kind of hard for me to balance it out while I'm doing lives. But let's do one. Let me do it right now. Let's do a poll in the live.
Well, not just the live, but also your community thing as well.
Yeah, we could do it in both. I don't know if I've ever done a poll. It's very rare I've done a poll, which is bad. But so the poll should ask. But what should I say? Do you believe that the people who don't pay attention to politics are more establishment or are they more populist? Do you believe that the people who don't pay attention to politics are more, I think it's a great question, more establishment or populist?
Or this poll is racist?
Yeah. Well, that's the control one.
Yeah.
But with a small sample size, you don't really want that. But I'm just going to put that in there. I'm going to say they are more populist. And then I'm going to say they are more establishment.
Yep.
I'm curious if anybody comes on through. We'll do it on the community as well. And let me see. Why is it not adding start poll? Oh, question is too long. Okay, what? I went over my verbiage, I guess. Oh, the question's too long. Do you believe that the people who don't pay attention are normies more? Do you believe normies?
Just put when you say establishment, just put hyper in it. Like the first couple letters.
Yeah, let me just do
Establish, estab, or populace.
See, that's why I don't do polls, because I'm just a mess right now. That
Or
normies
do it on Twitter too.
Oh yeah.
Life Max said it best. Two Max, I should say. Two
What did they say?
Or a poll on Twitter. Many places to poll.
Okay, I just started off. I just did it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it's a good idea for a polling app.
Yeah.
Then the other scenario, Ray, is that that Matt Gaetz would withdraw it, which is a very low likely, because that's not going to happen. Because Matt Gaetz's whole point is, no matter what happens going forward, I've put my foot down. I was one of the leaders that allowed him to become speaker, and now I am not owning him anymore. Up to this point, Matt Gaetz owns his mistakes.
I accidentally clicked populist by accident. Oh,
it's all good. In the poll, yeah, that's all
accidentally.
Good. Yeah. So what you're going to see is a lot of lobbying, so the speaker can organize a whip operation to secure enough votes to defeat the motion. They'd have to do it within two days, which is not a lot of time. Basically, what that means is they're going to walk around to every member of the House. A lot of people in the House like this, because these are dirty weasels. So imagine if, Ray, imagine if I needed your vote, Ray, to still keep my job. And you're you're not Ray, you're a dirty scoundrel, sleazebag politician.
So
you'd probably be like, what would you say?
I would be, let's see, who would I be? I'm trying to think, who would I be? My alter ego. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know actually who would be my alter ego. I don't know actually. But okay, just whoever my alter ego would be. Continue with the question.
Yeah, so I need your vote, Ray, or I lose my job. So what that means is you're like, you need my vote, huh? What are you gonna do for me for my vote?
Yeah. Could make a huge argument for that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what they're going to do, is they're going to say, hey, remember that time when you didn't do this thing, and now I need you to do that thing? You need something from me. I'm going to need you to do that thing and something else this time with interest. So there's a lot of people in the House who are very happy about this. They won't say it publicly, but they'll know. These are more the people who aren't already underneath Kevin McCarthy's wing. Marjorie Taylor Greene might be happy about this. Who knows if she would turn-code again on this? She turn-coded last time.
Yeah. Who knows? I still don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. But if you wanted to get something from Kevin McCarthy and you didn't get it, then you're very happy at this moment, because you might be the one, and you don't care about voting for him or not. That's even better. That means you can leverage it into something else. It is possible that you could see a resignation. That's very unlikely. Kevin McCarthy would not do that.
Yeah. Hey, I got a funny joke for you that I want to ask you then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you could get the utopia the utopia world that you want, but you have to do this though to get it, would you eat Biden's ASS to do it?
No, dog. No, dog. No, dog, I'm not. No, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
So
that's gonna be a no for me.
You would turn
that's
away,
gonna be a no.
You would turn away the populist utopia that you want.
Absolutely, it would not happen.
Everyone in the live chat, give your response. What would you do that? If you want to get the populist utopia that you want, would you eat Biden's ASS? I really want to know that.
No.
Okay, then What if you had to do it to Pelosi then?
Oh, see, look at he trying to make it a little harder because I am a fan of. Let's just say I'm a fan of Nancy Pelosi. That's a no, hell no, dog. I'm not. That's a no for me. I'm not eating ass from nobody, man. That's not gonna work for me.
Not even Lauren Boebert.
I've grown to like Lauren Boebert to appreciate, because before I was never a fan like that. I've grown to appreciate Lauren Boebert's assets, and I don't know what she was doing in that dress, but they were on full display, but not to that extent.
Look at Taco.
Jesus Christ. Taco, I don't think you want. No, you wouldn't, Taco. I wouldn't. No, boy, life.
Like, I would do it for Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's a couple others. Laura Loomer, definitely. I'm trying to figure out who else. Kathy Barnett, definitely.
Oh, bro, I'm a big Kathy Barnett fan. I'm just not a big ass. I'm not into the ass like that.
Or I know you'll love this one, Carrie Lake.
You try to make it harder on me, but it's still ass no matter what. I mean, at that point,
okay, what they just got out of the shower then.
That's just gonna be a no for me, dog. That's gonna be a no. Now, I'm not gonna lie. You made the question a little bit harder if you're talking about Kathy Barnett and Carrie Lake.
That means you at least thought about it.
I thought about it from Nancy Pelosi, but the answer is no, though. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nancy Pelosi. I'm a big fan, big supporter. From that angle, not from politics or philosophy, but there you go. Who's on the live? We're talking about ass eating right now. That's what's happening. I don't know how that happened. Did you see this video here? I think I have a video here that's very appropriate for this. One of my favorite accounts brought this up. Here it is. This is from Jebra Fouché. This is a parody account on Twitter, on X, and they posted this video. Speaking of ass-eating positions, what do you see?
Look what Barton just said.
What is that called? A bustier? Is that what it's called for real? I thought it was called tossing salad.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog. But this Deborah Fouché account tweeted this thing out. What is this?
Oh my God, I saw this.
If you're just listening, I don't know. What do you know what it is, Ray? It's women in a, I think it's women, right?
Yeah.
In a laying kind of prone, propped up. I don't know what this is.
On all fours.
On all fours, at an angle.
Yeah, but that we cannot describe.
So yeah, I mean we can, but I just
not for YouTube.
Nothing like ass eating as a conversation, and then after that we're like, well, no, we can't talk about this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well,
let's just say it's something I would be interested in do. I mean, yeah. Yeah. In my personal life, so yeah.
Yeah, nah. It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Well, it's an alpha thing, so.
I'm not. Well, I've made it clear I'm not an alpha like that. I know you're big on the alpha. I'm not. I think you don't want to be a beta is what I would say. So, but I'm not. Or maybe you could argue either you're alpha or a beta.
Look what Taco added to it.
If I eat out Hillary for a true liberty for us all, I demand a giant statue of me in front of the Capitol building. And absolutely, I'll chisel the statue myself, Taco.
Yeah.
If you go and do that work with, I mean, this isn't young Hillary. Yeah. I mean, Pete Davidson didn't have young Hillary, but Pete Davidson had that tattoo of young Hillary. Young Hillary wasn't that bad, actually, yo. I mean, this is getting to be a crazy live. I did not expect this today. But young Hillary wasn't I mean, nothing to write home about, but she wasn't that bad. I mean, she was better than Chelsea. Here's young Hillary.
Yeah.
Here's young Hillary. I'm going to show a picture of young Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
So this is young Hillary right here. Find a picture to kind of blow up. Okay, that's not a good one, but it's not. Young Hillary's not bad. I don't even know if she's she's at college there.
I don't know for a fact about that one.
What are you trying to say, Ray?
I'm not sure if she's in college on that one.
Oh no, well it said college underneath. I don't know, but
go to
it says Wesley.
go to
hold up. Holler at me at this one. Can you see it? Is it big enough? Hold on, let me see if I can get bigger.
Is she in college in this one, or
it says college? I mean, she looks old enough in there. I don't know, but
yeah, because that would
college.
I
don't know.
That would just be creepy. So yeah, I'm not. I'm not commenting on it unless I know for a fact.
You're off the rails.
Yeah,
we're off the rails. I'm assuming that's college. So I mean, I'm putting a qualifier on it that she's got to be 18 or older. But that's assuming she's 18 or older. That's a solid picture. But so no, not that Hillary taco. The tacos you would be eating would be the older Hillary. So that's where, right? Are we going to clarify that, right?
Bring it up. Bring it up.
What happened? He said something else?
No, bring it up. No, type it at Hillary today. So.
Oh, Hillary today. Oh, bring it up. Yeah, let's just be clear on what we're doing here. And there's nothing against her. She's just age. I guess if you're back there looking at the tacos to eat, does it really matter? Is this? It's gonna be a no for me, Doc. It's gonna be a hell no. It's gonna be a hell no for me. I'm sorry, Nancy's still a problem.
What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Nancy's a problem. I'm sorry, man. Nancy's a problem.
Maybe Nancy back in the early 2000s, maybe, but
Nancy's
not now.
I'm sorry. I've been open and honest. See, Rex Chapman. Do you remember Rex Chapman, the basketball player, had that comment? I forgot what happened, but he said Nancy Pelosi was attractive or something like that, talking about her now. And I went up in his mentions. I was like, word. I was like, I'm with you, bro. She's good. And he blocked me. I backed him up on it. And he blocked me because I had MAGA in my thing. I'm sorry, Nancy's still a problem.
What attracts you to Nancy?
Nancy is like the political kind of like Messiah. She's like the political
the milk jug asset.
Oh, well that was the rap. I mean, that was the Nancy at the beach. That was the rap. Tucker had this picture up in his office. Remember? Like I'm not even a upper assets guy like that. But this changed the game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. That's nowhere close to Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or Laura Loomer. I'm sorry.
Where did Laura Loomer get involved in this?
I mentioned her earlier.
I know you did. I'm asking, how did she get involved?
I said Nancy is nowhere near them.
I'm not. It's hard to compare with the age and all that, but Nancy's a problem.
Look at Laura Loomer.
Man, I don't. I want to. This is all respectful. We just having fun, Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's been looking good. Yeah, is that Laura? Yeah, she's been looking good.
That one where she's holding the megaphone.
This one here?
Right. Nope, the one. Yeah, that one looks good.
I'm a fan of Laura. I'm just gonna for that one. I'm gonna stay out of it just because I'm a fan of hers. I'll stay respectful on that. But do you remember what Stephen Ignoramus said in our Twitter space earlier today?
No, he literally was saying no. That's what he was saying. So I don't say that. It was funny though. I said that if that Nick Fuentes should run for president and Stephen should be his VP, and then they should have Laura Loomer be their White House press secretary.
Earlier in the live, Stephen Ignoramus in the Twitter space, Stephen Ignoramus said that Laura Loomer looked like Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Bruh, that was uncalled for. She's on the right side, bruh. Stephen, that was completely uncalled for.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah.
That was a good lie. If anybody caught the Twitter spaces, man, it got spicy. It's Twitter though. I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, Barton Bella would say, she said, but it's true.
Taco says he's gonna need a lot of alcohol.
You're gonna need a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
But pretty soon it won't be a problem because we'll all be in like virtual reality and AI.
Well, by that time I'll be in a tent down by the river.
Yeah, there was a clip that I clipped up of Elon Musk from 2020 where he talked about Neuralink.
Yeah.
And some of the weird, and I was like, there's some ramifications here of what could happen with Elon Musk if he's accurate. He is chasing the fountain of youth. And here's a quote from Elon. He states that Neuralink will allow people to record memories and download them to new human or robot bodies. And this is him saying it. He said it on Joe Rogan also, but here he is saying it at this Neuralink press conference 2020.
Another question from Twitter. Will you be able to save and replay memories in the future?
Yes, I think in the future you will be able to save and replay memories. I mean, this is obviously sounding increasingly like a Black Mirror episode, but well, I guess they're pretty good at predicting. But yeah, essentially, if you have a whole brain interface, everything that's encoded in memory, you could upload. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. And ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
Here's something I'm curious about. Would it allow you people to replay memories that happened before the Neuralink stuff?
Yes.
Well
just
before.
in theory, who knows for sure, but in theory, yes.
So 30 plus years ago, a memory from that time.
It's because because I don't know if you ever saw that movie. It was a Disney movie, Inside the Brain or whatever. It was actually not that bad, but I think your mind has those memories in it somewhere. It just, you can't be preoccupied with every single memory of every single moment. So your brain, I'm not an expert here. My understanding is the brain just files it away, kind of like putting your papers and filing it in the filing cabinet. And it's hard to recall where it all is because you're remembering every second of every day. The chip would allow you to look at that.
The reason why, because my family has memories of my grandpa, so that's why. That's the only reason. Because he passed before I was even born.
Bro, let's talk about all the possibilities of this thing. Let's talk about this.
But yeah, I agree. But I agree with Barton though. Then we can get right back into it. What she just said.
What did Barton say? Barton said, "Nah, let me die. The purpose of life is to live it and then pass away, so the next generation can live theirs." And Barton Bella is just so based that you've got to be a God-fearing person, Barton, because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And that's a great take. But I just want to talk about the possibilities here. I mean, I don't know where I lie on this. I'm pro transhumanism, but there's a moral discussion to be had here. But Ray, talk about people lost loved ones. You could download the memories from anyone you had access to who had a memory from a lost loved one. You could upload those memories into a new body, a robot, a new human body, and then you would have essentially some type of figment of that person still with you.
No, we would replay the image of the moment, replay it.
No,
that doesn't make any sense then.
No. So your memory would be a chip. So you could go through your memories, and you spent hours potentially with this person. So that it would know what they did, how they walked, what they said. You see what I'm saying? That with all that data, like when I go to ChatGPT, I will put in, like when I did the Reagan thing, we were going to talk about Reagan here. I told ChatGPT, you already know how my blogs go. Go read a couple more of them. Then give me some ideas based on what you think I would not like about Ronald Reagan. And pretty much all of it, except for a couple, are good. So my point is, you could upload those memories, not just from you, from all the family members, put them together on a file, and upload them to a body, and tell the body, you are now this person with all these memories. Act like this person.
That would just turn me away. What I was talking about was like replaying like what they saw, like like a movie type of thing. That's what I was referring to.
Absolutely, you could do that.
It's like what your eyes saw. Just like you could like see it on a screen, but just from that person's perspective.
Absolutely, you could. From the other person's perspective, I don't. Yeah, no, you could.
From the person's memory's perspective.
Yeah,
just watch it how they saw it.
Absolutely, you could. Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't even need to project it on the screen at some point. This isn't going to happen tomorrow. This is probably a decade. No. Not a decade, but a couple generations away.
One time I was like projected on a screen. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's nothing. Yeah.
Still no. I'm just asking, would that be possible?
Yes, absolutely. The memories would be a chip. Here's the problem, though, because any memory from when you get the chip in the brain going forward would be a 100% accurate memory. But your old memories would be what you recalled because the chip wasn't in the brain. So you might have recalled that the person said this, but they really said something a little bit different. So it would be a little weird that way. But you could project your memories. You could project your dreams. You could save your dreams.
Yeah.
That's why Elon at the end of that clip said things are going to be weird because he didn't even touch on the weird stuff. I'm about to. That could happen.
This sounds too dark. No. Because the purpose of life is to like you were there and then you're gone. Like at least because it happened, and like it wouldn't be special anymore if it would like if someone like mine would be alive forever. It wouldn't make it special anymore. So what's the point of even life then?
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. That's probably going to happen in our lifetime. I mean, for me, barely, but
that's why I
potentially.
Say when it happens, I'll be in a tent down by the river.
Yeah, Boring Life has a great point. Unless you get hacked, and you will be hacked. Now, here's the weird thing. You could download a copy of yourself at some point into some type of hard drive. If you get hacked, you might be able to get somebody might be able to get you back uploaded with the old copy.
Well, like this is my take. The moment they put a chip in your mind, they know everything you think and they control everything you do.
Absolutely.
That's obviously why I never will get a chip in my head. There's no way anyone will ever convince me to do it. No way.
Yeah. I won't be the first one, but if they happen, if you could do it tomorrow, I would be watching it very closely. It would consume everything for me to follow and see what happened with the people who did it. And it is going to be happening soon. And I would be first in line once I felt comfortable with it.
Well, like it said in that one article we talked about like about a week ago, there are going to be people who live outside the cities who like create self-supplying communities and live in like 18th or 19th century houses. So, yeah, I'm going to be one of those people, definitely. No questions asked.
Yeah. I don't blame you at all. The other part of this is it even possible to download your soul? Is there a soul?
No. There is. But your soul belongs to God. That's why. And that's why whenever you play with anything like that, it can bring nothing but consequences.
And what are the consequences of it? So I don't know the answer to that.
Here's why. And it literally said that it literally says in the Bible, like when Satan is cast into the lake of fire, all the people that practice witchcraft will be thrown in there with them. So I'm sorry, and it's what you're describing sounds exactly like witchcraft when it comes to soul. It literally sounds just like that.
You raise a great point, but so at what point? Because if you looked at people if people came and saw how we lived right now in the 17th century, we're online streaming across the country in real time to other people who come in and watch. They would think we were sorcerers right now.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but where's that line? I don't even know what that.
Well, Taco. Here's something that wouldn't make sense though. Here's something I want to know. Like, if you somehow got uploaded to like your mind and your memories and all this got uploaded to a robot, but when you die, the soul goes to will go to either heaven or hell. But does that mean there's another thing here on Earth, or will you not be able to because your mind is still technically alive? So
that's a hell of a question. We don't know about that yet, but
I would have to ask. I think we should get Carlos on to talk about that sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I got to hit him up. Yeah, I got to hit. I text him very often. I don't think I text him today, but I'll hit him up. We got to talk about this, and from the standpoint of.
But for some reason, I just don't think your soul would go to heaven, because you would still be alive, or even hell, because your soul, because you would still technically be alive right here. You can't be two people at once. I don't believe that.
Yeah, so it's a matter of is your conscious a part of this or not? Here's the other weird thing about it. The first animal they put this Neuralink in, I believe they put it in the pig first. Do you remember that?
I thought it was a chimp.
They did put it in the chimp. They put it in the chimp after the pig, I believe. But here's my point. You could put your mind into any animal. So you could have a bird outside your window that has the brain of a human.
But wouldn't that make the bird or even you go crazy then? Because then you would have its thoughts going in, two people going in out, thoughts at the same time.
We don't know. I mean, we don't know how that would work exactly, but in my idea of this theory is that your brain would completely take over the bird.
Or could the bird take over you?
Possible. We're in uncharted waters. But just say hypothetically, you could live as a lion.
This is why we should not go down this territory. Neuralink should be outlawed.
Can't stop it. You can try, but you can't stop people from researching, and they could try to slow it down maybe, but you're going to have people in a cave somewhere with Starlink internet, and they'll be working on it.
Well, what if
the government will work on it? The government, this is a weapon. The government's not stopping. Yeah. So you see the problem. I'm really upset when Elon says stuff like that, because he knows obviously he's way smarter than me. What do you mean the government's going to outlaw this stuff? You think the CIA and the DOD is going to stop researching this stuff? No, they're not going to stop. So why would you even say that to say we need regulations on it? The government's not putting regulations on themselves. It's all classified. They're working on it now. So let everybody work on it.
You know, a theory that I have right now, and I want to know what you think about it. What if like the main AI type Skynet AI or the Matrix AI is already here, and they just worked out a deal like, hey, let's not show you off right now. Let's just wait, let this play out, and then we'll start slowly showing you over time.
It very well could be. I mean,
a lot of people say like we're gonna get to that point where the AI will create the AI like that. But what if the AI is already existing in that they're just agreed with it? Hey, let's just not show you off right now.
Very possible. I think that's highly possible. Boring life with the joke, the dad joke, bird brained. It brings new meaning to the term bird brained.
Look what Taco just said. You gotta see what he just said.
Oh my gosh. Taco is hilarious. Taco says, put me in a bird and I'm shitting on Kamala's windshield every day. I mean, that could happen. And then in theory, you could put the brain of a bird in a human body. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could do anything.
Can you imagine just watching some random human just going like,
Yeah, that'd be weird, man.
Yeah,
We're in a
that
weird
would-
place.
Yeah. So
But you could, in theory, copy yourself, upload yourself. It's probably going to be hard to get the right human bodies for this. Like, where do you get the bodies from? But you could copy yourself 5 times. So you would have 5 or however many bodies you got, and you could connect them all to the internet, and you could get the memories and experiences of all 5 people at the same time while you're in real time.
Well, what if one died? Then would you die, or would you feel the pain of the other one? Is it possible?
You could but you would want to block that out. But you could if you wanted to. You could. I don't know why you would, but
can you imagine like you have 3 Osiris's? You have you, then you have your alter ego that's good, and then your alter ego that's bad.
Wrong.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
But here's another thing: you could program it to control your diet. You could control it to eliminate addiction.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
Well, like I said, you're supposed to work things out on your own like that with the help of God.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, in theory, these are some of the things you could do. In theory, when Neuralink gets to that point, you could eliminate addiction. You could eliminate. You wouldn't need coffee if you unless you wanted the taste of it. You could tell your body. Now, you would be fooling your body, so it would be weird because if your body's hungry and you're telling your body not to eat, that's very dangerous stuff. But you could do stuff. You could force yourself to like vegetables. In theory, you could make a piece of broccoli taste like fried chicken. That's how crazy we're getting. You could do that. That's why Elon was like, this is going to be wild. I can't even tell you guys the possibilities.
So like in the Matrix, when they're in the Matrix, they know that when they're ever eating something, they know it's not real. It just tastes like it. It's just the Matrix is telling their mind what it tastes like.
Same exact thing. Yeah, you could make an apple taste like a steak.
No.
Yeah,
no,
or steak tastes like apple.
That just wouldn't work out. No. I'm sorry. I'm out on this. No one will ever convince me that this Neuralink or this metaverse type of thing is good in any way. No.
Yeah. Here's another wild thing. I did send this out. You could download a copy of yourself, upload it into the body.
Or I just said it. Yummy bugs. So like they'll have us eat bugs, but then we'll just reprogram it to taste whatever have it taste like whatever we want it to be. So
absolutely. Yeah, you could make crickets taste like walnut ice cream. Or maple syrup, or pancakes, or whatever you want it to.
That just sounds nasty.
Yeah, and that could hurt you too, because you could eat something that your body is supposed to tell you, no, this is nasty, but it tastes good, and then you might get sick, and you fool yourself into thinking you're well, but you're not really.
Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine if feces, like they could just program feces to taste like whatever you want to, but that's what you eat. Ugh, I can't. Just imagine that. Ugh.
But the wild scenario I was telling you about is you could download a copy of your consciousness or your memories and consciousness to another body. You could use it to a body of the opposite sex or the same sex if you want to, and you could have sex with yourself in real time.
Oh no! Don't put that in my mind. Don't put that in my mind.
But keep in mind the body that you would be having sex with would be who Meg Thee Stallion, whoever you want it to be. Nia Long from the 90s. I mean, it'd be whatever you want it to be.
You could technically, in theory, you could have sex with Nancy Pelosi then. So
I think older Nancy Pelosi is better than younger, actually.
No.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know what
younger
you're
Nancy
about,
Pelosi wasn't.
Go back to looking.
Ray's like, I don't know that nigga. Ray's gonna be like, they're gonna be like, were you talking about that? There's this podcast he was talking about how hot Nancy Pelosi was, and Ray's gonna be like, I don't know that nigga. I don't know. I was like, Ray's like, I don't know what's his name. Who? I don't know that nigga.
Hey, if I come down there in January or February, I might make a joke like that to your wife. Then so
she would think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's a goofball, so yeah, she'd think all that's hilarious. But let me go. Let's look at real quick, since we're completely off the rails. Let's go look at.
Go look up Nancy Pelosi in 2004.
2004 is not young enough. She's old as dirt.
She looks much better back then. Much better.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I like her older, actually.
She looks much better right there.
Right here?
Much better in that image.
I don't know. Nah, I don't know. That doesn't even look like her. I don't even recognize it.
I never thought about that, Taco. Look what he
What did
just
Taco
said.
say?
Look what he just said.
They're taking Go Fuck Yourself to a new level. Boring Life said, I effed myself for real.
Yeah. So
Boring Life said, y'all thirsty. I think it's just guy talk is all it is. I had a it was kind of cool. I had a comment on Jennifer Van Laar. I don't know if you know her. She's a writer for Red State, I believe. And she posted a picture of herself on X. And I commented on it. I did a little video on it, just kind of having fun with her because, her assets were on full display. And she actually replied to it. Yeah. And she was very nice about it. She wasn't taking it personally or anything like that. So I said, I appreciate you.
Since we're on this conversation, go to Ed's Twitter account and look what he posted. Like, I believe it was yesterday or the day before.
What's Ed's handle?
He should be in the Mega Bulls thing. Just click on the thing.
Okay.
And I believe it was yesterday or the day beforehand. Something about AOC.
Here we go with the AOC.
Yeah.
There we go with the AOC stuff. Okay, so I got Ed. Yeah. That is cool. It's actually good that you did that Magables thing, so now I can easily find everybody.
Yeah.
I got to make a Magables list.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the AOC.
Yeah.
Oh, see, here's the thing that's happening on X now and I've done a little bit, but I'm not doing it for engagement. I've done it just very often, to ask a legitimate question, but it's getting kind of corny. But here's Ian Miles Chung saying, you wake up as AOC, what's the first thing you're doing? And Ed says, I don't know about waking as AOC, but definitely waking next. Talk about thirsty to AOC. I don't care what nobody says. This woman is fucking gorgeous. Yo, so Spanish, I love House.
I don't know what he's saying right. I don't know.
That knows a mommy.
I don't know what he's meaning.
Okay. Let me be careful because I don't know what he's saying there. See, she doesn't do anything for me there. So it's the AI version, and that's where we're going. We can do AI versions that will eventually you could put on a robot body, but
I've seen the AI version of Tulsi Gabbard on a beach. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see somebody had that. It was all right.
No, it was good. So,
was it really good? Okay, I haven't seen that.
Look it up.
I'll have to look it up. You might be able to find it more. I think it was I forgot the name of the Twitter handle that's been doing that kind of stuff.
What software do you use to make the AI stuff?
Midjourney. I think they are using Midjourney where you upload a picture. I've done a live on it. I should do another one. Midjourney is incredible.
How do you use it?
It's through Discord, believe it or not.
Huh.
It's through Discord. I don't have the AI one handy, but I've used it in thumbnails. It's insane. It's that one. It's not even real, and that made me look at the real AI differently. So that's how weird things are getting.
Huh.
But if you want to look at Midjourney, I'll show it here. It's straight in the Discord. This is it right here. So I'm in my Midjourney. These are people. This is not me here. These are random people just doing Midjourney pictures. Wow, you usually can't get them that salacious. Cammy cosplay drawn by Frank. Okay, I don't know how they got the assets like that. That's not easy to do. It's pretty tame what you can do with it. But if you want to look at like mine, here's some of the. I use this in a thumbnail. So I just, this is a Tesla bot thumbnail. So it's nothing exciting, but I just put. What do you think of something you want to see AI? AI. Let's do AI AOC.
Sure. Go ahead.
Let's say attractive Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So let's see what it does with that. It could do a cartoon. It's very generic. You have to be very detailed to get what you want, but we're just testing it out. As you can see, it's through Discord. If you need help doing it, I can just go to my Discord, stuck.
How do I do that? Go to your Discord, okay?
If you want help to do it, so you have to actually sign up. Through search Midjourney in Google.
So you sign up. Do you have to pay anything?
You do not have to pay anything to at least try it out and to use it. I do pay because I don't want to wait. Sometimes it's too busy. So I do pay, I think this one's $20 a month. So I got $20 a month on this, and I got $20 on ChatGPT. That's $40 a month on that. So, the money that goes into the channel goes to those, types of things.
Huh.
But that's, it's not really AOC, you see. But you can upload a picture of AOC and then say, make it look, blend it in. That's how people do some of this stuff. But it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Jordan Lott said, "Are you partying without me?" Dave freaking Smith. Y'all laugh. Does Dave Smith like the beach? I still have to do the live, man. I got to do some more research. But Jordan Lott is a libertarian, if you don't know. We're big supporters of Comic Dave Smith, Robbie the Fire Bernstein, all them. Angela McCardle, Michael Heiss, the whole Mises Caucus.
Okay.
So it takes a little bit of a while to get to it, to get into it and kind of learn how to use it. But I can go into the, if you don't mind, because I will probably be
this
out
one.
What'd you do?
This
You
is the
found
Tulsi
one?
Gabbard one.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw it, but bring it up. Was she holding a surfboard or something?
This one.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. Her face looks a little weird. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think her face, they kind of made her face, I think her real face looks better than that, to be honest with you. But it's AI, so it's not going to be perfect. Eventually, you will be able to make it perfect. But yeah, that was good.
Eventually, it's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's not.
Oh, no, you're not. I think we're almost already at that point. But
what if
they're
they
getting the fingers better now? They used to mess up the fingers a lot.
What if they already have it and they're just not releasing it?
They already do. I'm sure that somebody does. They're probably not using it very often because that would kind of mess it up. But they probably got it. China's probably got it. They spend so much money in this kind of stuff. But I can't lie. The Bobert AI is off the chains. The Bobert AI that's probably the best one I've seen.
Who created that and what did they use to create it?
They probably used Midjourney because I actually made a Carrie Lake one. I never released it, but
what does it look like?
Let me see if I can show it here. Actually,
yeah.
Wait, why is my screen? Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find it real quick in my archive. I never released it because I don't know if it looked completely right. Let me see if I can find it. But what you do is you upload a real picture of Carrie Lake, and then it can get it better. Or you can just do a Photoshop if you know how to do Photoshop. So that's where some of these people are doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't think it was that long ago, but it should be coming up soon because it wasn't that long ago when I did it.
Huh.
I think it's right over here. These are all the prior ones I've done.
Wow.
Maybe I might have actually. Okay, here you go. Here's the Carrie Lake.
What in the?
So it didn't. That's why I never released it. It looks whack. But I uploaded a real picture of Carrie Lake. If you can see the instructions, I said blend. It was blend this real picture of Carrie Lake with this.
Well,
I just found this random.
Well, the AI one that I sent you
of Carrie Lake.
Yeah, you remember?
I don't even remember that one.
I have it right
here. Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah. Pull this up.
I think I'm trying to faintly remember. Where'd you get it from?
I'll explain later.
Oh.
That one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, but then remember I replied to you. I was like, that's basically what she looks like with longer hair though. Yeah. So it's not like what is basically touching her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Lake's that deal.
Mm-hmm.
I said my ideal ticket for president, no, all jokes aside, and even looks is a benefit, but it's not even about that. Substance-wise, would have been Carrie Lake as president and Kathy Barnett as vice president. That might be my number one choice for president, other than Comic Dave Smith not running. But Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. This has been a crazy life, man. A really spicy one.
Well, we've been. I mean, it's gonna be spicy every time. A little bit of spice somewhere, but we've been on for quite a bit.
Yeah.
With the X spaces, and you were on after I was gone for a while.
Uh-huh.
But I want to do this real quick. The roast of Reagan.
Yeah.
Let me know what.
We also may be doing a video on Saturday too, because what I told you beforehand, we went live. Afterwards, I might do one.
Oh, you might do one Saturday? I forgot. We'll talk about.
No, not a space. I'm talking about we might do a video because of what happens on Saturday. Something I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for Reagan, this is off the cuff. I mean, I kind of put this together, Ray. We didn't get to talk about it. So what happened was last live, we talked about Ronald Reagan and how the Republican Party has kind of deified him to lengths that he's not aging well as far as his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
This Ronald Reagan, there was a lot of problematic things. This is not going to be like I don't want to be dissing Ronald Reagan. It's just a respectful, like reanalysis of his positions. And we look at the tax. What was your position on his tax cuts? If you're not aware or whatever, you don't have to.
I'm aware.
But,
it was one of the best things in history. Like until Trump topped it, but like for Reagan at that time, it was necessary because of all of the Jimmy Carter's policies with how bad the inflation was back then, and Reagan really needed to, because he needed to reduce the taxes to get rid of the inflation, because he had to dramatically change the system dramatically.
Yeah, so the Tax Reform Act of 1986 is often hailed as a simplification of the tax code. It did disproportionately benefit the wealthy, and that's where we came with that famous meme. If you know that meme where Ronald Reagan's in the room with a bunch of like Bush and other people, and they're kind of, they say tax, they say something about lower tax for the wealthy, and they thought it would work. So do you think that the trickle-down economics was a good thing, or was it accurate?
Well, I believe everyone's taxes should be reduced dramatically. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. In looking back at the tax cuts, Trump's tax cuts were legit, and it wasn't just for the rich. They tried to. That was another Trump lie. If you go and look at the tax cuts from Trump, it was not just for the rich. That was a lie. But you look at the Reagan one, at least from the research I'm doing, he slashed the tax rate from 50 to 28%, increasing the bottom rate from 11 to 15.
I don't recall that.
I'll have to fact check. I didn't independently check that, but if that's true, because sometimes it can get this stuff wrong. Yeah. If that is true, then I'm not. It has not aged well. So I do have.
Yeah.
So he had the Iran-Contra affair. This was a very big thing back. This is like a huge scandal back in the day. So this scandal here, it was later on in it was in his second term, and they became involved in secret weapon transactions with Iran, contradicting the U.S. government's stated policy of refusing to bargain with terrorists. A portion of the $48 million that Iran had paid for the arms was diverted and given to the Contras in Nicaragua, violating the Boland Amendment, which had banned U.S. military aid to the Contras.
Yeah.
So he had a scandal there where publicly they were saying, hey, we won't do this. And then behind the scenes, they were doing that. Pretty standard for damn near any president, but that was something. It was almost like Biden. It was almost like Biden just negotiated. Who did he give money to for hostage? Was it Iran?
I don't recall, actually.
It happened on. What was the last holiday? It happened on Labor Day, I believe.
I don't recall. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look that up again. I covered it live, but I forgot already.
But yeah, you want to get to the Immigration Control Act?
Yep. So immigration was a big part. I think I have it in here.
The
Let me
Immigration
make
Control
sure.
Act.
I'm sure I have it in here. Sorry, hold on one second.
Mhm.
I think it's right. Where's the Immigration Control Act in 1986 granted amnesty to nearly 3 million undocumented immigrants. While the act also aimed to tighten border security and penalize employers who hired undocumented workers, it's the amnesty provision that might irk conservatives who take a hardline stance on immigration.
Yep. Basically, all the illegal immigration issues that we have can be traced directly back to this, because this created an incentive that you can be granted an amnesty and be in citizenship. And by the way, this act, the Immigration Control Act, is what turned California from a deep red state into a deep blue hellhole. That's what it did.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan's final speech, he talks about this, which I actually agree with some of it, but it has to apply to legal immigration. And I think his approach, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just to give you a taste of it, his approach was too vast, and he does sound like a California politician. So he's going to speak here in a second.
This is the last speech that I will give as president. I think it's fitting to leave one final thought, an observation about a country which I love. It was stated best in a letter I received not long ago. A man wrote me and said, "You can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American." Yes, the torch of Lady Liberty symbolizes our freedom and represents our heritage, the compact with our parents, our grandparents, and our ancestors. It is that lady who gives us our great and special place in the world. For it's the great life force of each generation of new Americans that guarantees that America's triumph shall continue unsurpassed into the next century and beyond. Other countries may seek to compete with us, but in one vital area, as a beacon of freedom and opportunity that draws the people of the world, no country on earth comes close. This, I believe, is one of the most important sources of America's greatness. We lead the world because, unique among nations, we draw our people, our strength, from every country and every corner of the world. And by doing so, we continuously renew and enrich our nation. While other countries cling to the stale past, here in America, we breathe life into dreams, we create the future, and the world follows us into tomorrow. Thanks to each wave of new arrivals to this land of opportunity, we're a nation forever young, forever bursting with energy and new ideas, and always on the cutting edge, always leading the world to the next frontier. This quality is vital to our future as a nation. If we ever close the door to new Americans, our leadership in the world would soon be lost. A number of years ago...
Man, he was a hell of an orator, man.
Yeah. But that last thing, that thing you said, though, about closing off to new Americans, those people weren't here already. We were already here. So, no.
Yeah, you know what I saw there is a lot of Obama.
Yeah.
Obama was the orator who put the great speech or presentation in to wrap up a very bad policy into.
Yeah.
Nobody reads these bills, especially back then. You didn't even have the internet as prevalent to do it. So you have your only understanding of this legislation. If my only understanding of the legislation was through that speech, I would have said hell yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Reagan. He was one of the best. I think he might be the best orator. Who was better? I don't know all of the old ones, but him and Obama were right there together.
It's close. I don't know.
Oh, your mic went out. So he's gonna get his mic back up. But man, his Ronald Reagan speeches were unbelievable. one of the best, clearly, as president. Kind of miss those times, man. That's the
Mike's been going.
Oh, is it?
My mic's been going out a lot today. I don't know why.
Oh, you're good though.
Today. Yeah, I wanted to play this clip from Tucker Carlson where he talked about immigration, which ties into that part right here, since you just mentioned Obama.
Oh yeah. You have the clip, or you want me to get it?
I have it right here.
Oh, okay. Yep, bring it up.
Right here. Well, this was after the Martha's Vineyard situation happened. We'll play it real quick because it ties directly into it.
Yep.
CBS Boston reports that after landing, the group wandered about 3.5 miles from the airport into town, thereby instantly improving it. You can imagine the unrestrained jubilation on Martha's Vineyard tonight. Long-suffering islanders finally rescued from their own oppressive whiteness. In fact, let's go there now to check in on the celebrations. Well, that's not expected. Obviously, there's been a mistake. No, our producers are telling us there are no technical problems. That is, in fact, a live shot from Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, right now. But where were the weeping, joyful crowds? Where was the champagne and the ticker tape? We expected Times Square on VJ Day. What we got was a cemetery at midnight. What? But maybe it's not so confusing. Maybe things aren't as they seem. Our first clue is Barack Obama. Barack Obama is a part-time resident of Martha's Vineyard. Obama is also, of course, as you know, the country's greatest proponent of diversity. For years, Obama earnestly told us that immigrants were better than Americans. They were holy. They make our country strong.
America is and always has been a nation of immigrants. Throughout our history, immigrants have come to our shores in wave after wave from every corner of the globe. Every one of us, unless we're Native American, has an ancestor who was born somewhere else. That's what makes America special. That's what makes us strong. The basic idea of welcoming immigrants to our shores is central to our way of life. It is in our DNA.
So that was basically the whole presidency right there for 8 years, Obama hectoring us about diversity. But he didn't just talk about it. He spent his 2 years in office making certain that places like Des Moines, Iowa, and Portland, Maine became much less white than they previously had been, because as he so often told us, whiteness is bad. It's a disease. So we recall being a little confused when we read that Barack Obama had spent $12 million to buy an 8-bathroom oceanfront property on Martha's Vineyard, which is one of the whitest places on earth. Really, Martha's Vineyard? Why not Baltimore or Gary, Indiana? Is there really no real estate left in Detroit for the Obama family compound? There's got to be. What's going on here? We didn't know.
See? So Obama and Reagan sound a lot pretty similar with those immigration speeches.
Yeah, they very, very similar. The delivery is very good. Barton Bella said that and reminded us that this was even late in Ronald Reagan's career. He was basically senile at this point, but he sounds, light years better than Joe Biden, though.
Yeah.
In that point, he sounds way better than Joe Biden does right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But we can also get to a few other things about Reagan. The fact that he gutted the mental health institutions as well.
I didn't even pull that one up. Do you know any of that off the top of your head?
He basically this one, it's not entirely on him because of the inflation stuff that was going on right in there, because with the tax situation though, so it kind of made sense, but still though, no, especially with what's going on today with the mental health crisis we have here in America. Basically, because they stopped funding them because they didn't want to pay for them anymore. And so what they did was they changed the standards of what it means to be mentally ill, and they just released people from asylums.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that. Did he do that as governor or president?
President.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing some of this here with what he did, and that's a tough one. It makes me think about the war on drugs too. I think it was in elementary school when Reagan was president. I remember the war on drugs was a big deal, and that accomplished absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually Nancy Reagan's project, I believe, as first lady, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Then there was also the gun control stuff that happened with Reagan too.
Horrific. Yeah, he was horrific. He was a California politician, like through and through. Gavin Newsom gave him credit about his gun stance.
He was against so-called assault weapons, which is not even a real term.
Yep.
So, yeah. The kind of like the AR-15, which is just a semi-automatic weapon. Back then, it was called the M18. I forgot exactly what it was called, but it was the military version of it being put into American hands. You guys in the live chat, you can correct me on that. I may have gotten that wrong, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah, so he increased spending as well. The defense budget went through the roof. I know there was the whole Cold War going on, but I do have a note here. Defense budget rose from 134 billion in 1980 to 253 billion in 1989. My goodness. Critics argued that this contributed to the national debt, but proponents claim it was necessary to end the Cold War. So there, he had the good moment, tear down the wall, but the money, man. So I think overall, Reaganomics.
But overall, looking back at it now, probably the wall going down may have been like one of the worst things to happen to this country in at least history, because now we have like NATO actually approaching on Russia's border. Because after the wall went down, it was agreed that NATO would not spread 1 inch to the west. Not 1 inch. Well, no, I mean
to the east.
My mistake, to the east. It was agreed they would not spread 1 inch to the east. And look what happened. Within a decade, they already did.
Yeah, that's so as you can see, we have a multitude of problems with Reagan.
But
yes, I agree completely.
One more big thing that you forgot to mention.
What's that?
No fault divorce.
Oh yeah, I didn't even put that in. You're more on that one than me. Let's talk about that one.
Basically, the idea that a woman can divorce a man for any reason without even proving anything. Just say he's a bad guy and stuff like that, and you could just get a divorce that easily. Because there used to be a time where it was strict. There were strict rules of how you could get divorced, but now today it's just easy. So it devalued the meaning of marriage.
Yeah, so here's the little bit that I was able to get on short notice on it. The no-fault divorce legislation is often associated with Ronald Reagan. It was a seismic shift in the legal arena of marital dissolution. In 1969, as governor, he signed the Family Law Act, which introduced the concept of no-fault divorce. This was a departure from the traditional fault-based system where one spouse had to be proven guilty of misconduct like adultery or abuse for a divorce to be granted.
That's a really big problem because men have been getting screwed today with them when it comes to divorces. Yeah. Like having to pay ridiculous amount of money to women and have to make alimony payments all the time now. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in that. Pearl from whatever her channel is called, I forgot. But Pearl talks about that a lot. Some of the red pill dudes or whatever they're called talk about that. I'm not an expert in that one. So yeah, it sounds crazy. But
and Barton said it's something that I probably didn't think about. Reagan gave us Fauci.
Right. Yes. AIDS. I do have that noted, actually. I do have that noted. I didn't even think about it. The AIDS crisis. Reagan's handling of the AIDS crisis is often criticized for its lack of urgency and empathy. The epidemic emerged in the early 1980s, but Reagan did not publicly speak about it until 1985. It was still that old times where people didn't really talk about, because it was basically, it wasn't just obviously a gay virus, but it was mostly that. So it wasn't really a big topic.
Yeah, but spread mostly through gays though. Mostly,
yeah,
but still.
But I think back then, you see, that's for whatever is a taboo topic, and back then you didn't really talk about taboo topics like that. But by the time you didn't, so that means they didn't fully address it, and thousands of people died, and we know Fauci played a role in that. That's actually in I think that's the early chapters of The Real Anthony Fauci by Bobby Kennedy. Jr.
And also, Reagan was actually participated in the occult rituals at Bohemian Grove. And there's a famous image of Reagan with Richard Nixon at Bohemian Grove as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I have the image right here. Metalopoly sent it to me. I can pull it up right here.
Oh yeah, pull it up.
We're
doing a roast of Reagan, not out of a place of like hatred or anything, but just. I mean, I even did a breakdown of Dianne Feinstein. It wasn't on any hatred or anything. Just like, let's have a real talk.
Right here. Reagan's right here on the left, and Nixon's right there on the right.
You
see?
And where is this again?
Bohemian Grove.
So Bohemian Grove is a private men's club located in Monte Rio, California. Here we are again in California. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on California, man. California is a problem.
Well, you should do a video on California with Danny, because of what his channel is. He talks about California all the time. You should try to get.
He's great too. He was in the X Spaces earlier, and it's been a meeting place for influential figures in politics, business, and the arts since its founding in, wait for it, 1872. The club is known for its annual 2-week gathering where members engage in various activities from theatrical performances to lectures and discussions on public policy. Reagan, like many other U.S. presidents and high-profile politicians, was a member of this exclusive club. His participation in Bohemian Grove activities has been documented, although details are often shrouded in secrecy due to the private nature of the club. His involvement is particularly noteworthy because he was an active member for many years. Even before his presidency, he was known to have attended the annual summer encampment along with other figures like Richard Nixon.
And Richard Nixon is the most deceptive president we've ever had. The guy who was president during the moon missions. So,
Nixon was planning his presidential run for 1968. I'm not gonna get sidetracked to the moon. A year later, that moon stuff did or didn't happen. Critics of Bohemian Grove point to the club as an example of how power is concentrated and decisions are made behind closed doors, away from public scrutiny. Here's my takeaway from the Reagan stuff, Ray.
Yeah,
is we've got more context now about what's going on in our world than we did back then, or even 20 years ago, much less in the 80s. And it shines a light. We have to look at Reagan differently. Now, let me tell you this, though. I'm going to end probably on a more powerful, I don't know. We see that there's some issues there. But I think if he were alive today, or hypothetically, if we incentivize the right things as a populace, then he would fall in line. I think he would be more like a Trump-like figure if Ronald Reagan was alive today. I think he would be a Trump-like figure today.
It's possible, but there's no guarantee. So
no guarantee. But there's no way that So nowadays, you're either with the Democrats, as wild as they are, with all their crazy ideas. And what did Ronald Reagan say about the liberals? I forgot. What was the famous quote?
He never left the Democrat Party. They left me.
Yeah, so he would never be a Democrat today. And if you're not a Democrat today, then you're MAGA. I think if Ronald Reagan were alive today, he would be big. He'd be bigger than Trump probably, because he'd be a better orator. And for whatever reason, he might not be the same. He would have to cut through with some type of
Trump is often compared to Reagan. Often.
Yeah, I for me, it's more, I wouldn't even compare him to Reagan. I would just say if Reagan were alive today, then I would think he would be probably more like Trump. I don't know if I would compare them to Reagan. Trump is more like, even though it's a Democrat, Andrew Jackson is what I would say.
He's more like JFK in my view.
Trump is like JFK?
Yeah.
I never really made that connection.
other than the immigration
I could see
stuff.
that. I could see it.
JFK was a populist on everything except immigration. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Barton Bella says Reagan started MAGA.
And in some ways, you could say that, but in some ways you
Why?
can't.
Tea Party? What? How?
The fact that the America First movement, like putting America first, that's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you can make it. You can make an argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Reagan is definitely better than FDR, though. No questions about that.
Yeah, FDR is problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the New Deal. That's the Democrats love FDR. Not that FDR was all bad. I'm not gonna say that, but there was problems there as well. Now Teddy was way better.
Is Taco just giving a bunch of crap right there? No, I'm related to JFK and unfortunately Nixon. I think he's just joking right there.
Wait, so but yeah, but he might. I don't. He's probably serious. Barton Bella. Well, explain this. He literally started MAGA. Wow. Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Am I missing something?
Yeah.
I know the Tea Party was loosely based on that. What was that, Ray?
Were you saying that Teddy was much better than JFK?
No, FDR.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Teddy versus JFK.
I'll go JFK. Mm-hmm.
Really? Why would you say? Why?
Here's my idea. Since 1900, the best presidents of all time have been, in my opinion, Trump, JFK, Calvin Coolidge, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, I like that list.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, why would you pick JFK over Teddy though?
Because he was more of a populist. He was actually speaking out against like the matrix and the system.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see from that standpoint. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Wait, so
in Calvin Coolidge ahead of Teddy, I would put him.
Oh, okay. So I looked this up in Chat GPT. Just it's a search engine. It says the phrase "Make America Great Again" (MAGA) is most commonly associated with Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. However, the phrase was actually used earlier by Ronald Reagan during his 1980 campaign. Reagan used the slogan "Let's make America great again" in his campaign materials and speeches.
Interesting.
Thank you. Thank you, Barton Bella. That's a dope. I never knew that. Oh, she put it in there. I think Barton Bella's a woman. She put it in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, great information there. All right. Well, I'm gonna be out. Any last things, Ray? I want to get some time to do some clipping and stuff before I get to bed. But
are you gonna clip some of those jokes we made about Nancy Pelosi and all that? So
shoot, I don't know. We might have to delete those and clip them. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. I still want to clip some old stuff that we did. I haven't even clipped a lot of old stuff, and I want to clip it and schedule it to upload. So,
okay. Yeah.
I'm way behind with that kind of stuff, but
yeah, we might be doing another video on Saturday too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Right.
Good. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for stopping by. We're gonna be out.
And you're watching this, go follow me on Twitter. My handle right here, Ray Studios 29. Go to Twitter and follow me over there, guys. And we can do a lot. We can do a lot of interactions, and especially since we're going to be doing more Twitter Spaces, you can interact with us more than just on this show as well.
Yes, so I'm going to actually put the Discord here too. Discord's been popping off. I've been trying to figure out what's going on in the Discord more than Twitter lately. Here's the Discord if you want to continue the conversation. We appreciate y'all.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
We're out. Peace.
Peace.